Invictus, my kings, and welcome back to the Slavicus Maximus channel, and welcome to Milan, to Roman Empire, and well, hopefully anyway. And yes, we're continuing this little mini-series, or series in general, where we form Rome and Europa Universalis for as various nations. Today we are playing as Milan, obviously going to form the Italian nation, and then go on to form the Roman Empire. But Milan, an interesting position, definitely at the beginning of the game. You have the Ambrosian Republic, or the Ambrosian disaster ticking, or eventually we're going to go with the military dictatorship this time, because it's kind of semi-unique and it sort of plays into the late Roman Empire style anyway. It was very much a military dictatorship towards the end of the existence. We can link with Austria, okay, that's pretty good, but we can't really link with both Austria and France, but we can get Burgundy, so that's pretty good. But anyway, the strategy in this campaign is going to be a little bit different than the England run. Obviously, we are playing a much smaller nation, and it's just not going to be the same. It's going to be very high AE, lots of coalitions and lots of slog to get through when it comes to uniting in Italy, that's for sure. But no time like the present to actually start uniting the Italian peninsula and eventually Rome, so let's get to it. Mantua is our first victim. And an election can mean only one thing: the Ambrosian Republic disaster has finally ticked. So yeah, there we go, the Ambrosian Republic. This should be quite interesting. But anyway, we're gonna go with the military dictatorship, a proposition for Sforza. He can become our general under us. That would be very good, but yeah, so let's continue on. Let's probably wait until the disaster is over with. I'm just helping a war that France triggered. We can't really get a claim. Hopefully France gives us something in this war, but yeah, there we go. France gave us a province, so that's pretty good. A little bit of AE, but what can you do? There we go, Sforza clashes with the Republic, so let's enact a military dictatorship, and we'll be sticking with the military dictatorship for the time being. It does mitigate a little bit the absolutism debuff that being a republic gives you. Yes, we're technically a republic, but it does give us a little bit of a military advantage here in the early game, so yeah, I'm all for it, and it's kind of unique anyway. And Sforza seizes the throne? No, I don't think so. We can go back to being a duchy, we can go back to being a republic, but there we go, we are sticking with the military dictatorship. Yes, indeed. Now, this is quite an interesting reform, because you can't really decide, you can't really elect the generals to become military dictators at all, essentially. It's up to random chance what they get. A good general might be a completely trash ruler, but you know, at least it's going to be quite fun and unusual, but our stability is in the dumps. But time to continuing on, taking these provinces from Genoa. Very good, our realm grows and we should be able to take a mission. Yes, indeed, subdue Genoa. Gives us a little bit more of a claim. We can, well, we can't really core these provinces, but we'll be getting to coring them pretty soon. And we also have to take care of Venice quite soon. Never mind, here comes the coalition. Yeah, this is going to be quite painful for the rest of the game. But at least we finally have a stable government in Milan. The disaster has ended. We can pick a mission. It's gonna help us a little bit further, so everything's good. Ooh, now this is a juicy opportunity. We can take the entirety of what Florence held, now Lucca holds, and we can also take care of Siena. There we go, 2 birds with 1 stone, and Siena also remained in the HRE, so this bypasses a whole headache we could have had with fighting the Austrians and fighting whoever would become the HRE emperor later down the line. So we can just very quickly nab these provinces. It's going to be mad AE and it's going to be expensive to core, but it does, yeah, there we go. But it does save us a big headache, and the coalition, well, it's not really forming yet, so maybe, oh, there we go, never mind. Well, that didn't last long, so let's take care of Savoy. Alright, Savoy rightfully humiliated and absolutely defeated. We could give this to France, but we'd have to conquer it later from them, so let's not do that. Alright, time to go after our arch rival in the region, Venice, and we can take back our cores that they have taken before the game starts. So let's take these cores, call in all of these allies. They just got out of war with the Ottomans. This will be a breeze. Alright, since the Pope is an absolute a-hole and occupied everything we wanted, we can only get these 2 provinces, so let's keep the truce short and let's just get these 2 provinces and get whatever we can get, I guess. Alright, second round against Venice, much more successful. There we go, we have humiliated them quite a bit. We can core these provinces up, hopefully there's no coalition, and let's continue on. And it's time to flip Protestant. Yes, indeed, I'm using a Christianity rebalanced mod, so Protestantism should be a little bit better. Oh, well, there we go, we have to peace out first. But Protestantism should be a little bit better or more in line with the power level of, let's say, Catholicism or Orthodoxy. As you can see, some of these bonuses have been buffed quite a bit, well, at least by 50% in the least, and 100% I believe at most, so we should have a little bit of an interesting run. Protestantism definitely quite good with the mod on. It's in the description. But anyway, our third round against Venice, an absolutely devastating victory against our arch rival. We have completely kicked them out of the Italian peninsula. We can take a bunch of missions, going to give us a bunch of points, a bunch of claims, everything good like that. And we are truly the dominant force. Well, except for the Pope, but we'll get to him soon. And there we go, the Pope has been well and truly taken care of. Nothing stands in our way before claiming Rome. Yes, Rome, the eternal city, is now going to be ours. And yeah, so there we go. We are almost there when it comes to forming Italy. All we have to do is core these provinces up, most notably Rome itself. But of course, the coalitions don't stop, and they won't stop, and they keep on coming. And there we go, with Rome cored, we can now click the decision, form the Italian nation, and let's get cracking. We should be able to have a bunch of claims. Yep, there we go, we can fulfill a mission, which is going to give us, I think, claims in North Africa. Yes, there we go. So our route of expansion is quite clear. And there goes our first foray into Africa, or against a Muslim nation, so hopefully this disperses the AE a little bit. We're not quite ready to go up against the Ottomans, but we'll get there soon enough, and there we go, some more Gov Cap. And with this, the Italian peninsula should basically be almost completely unified. I got quite lucky with the war against Spain. France did all the work. But now we have to face the reality that we have to get to war against the Ottomans to unify the Italian peninsula. But Ottomans aside, that doesn't mean that we can't really go into Gaul and start reclaiming, oh there we go, we are an empire. Start reclaiming some of the Gallic lands, there we go, we can core it all up. And we can continue at least our western expansion, even though our eastern expansion is quite blocked off. Hopefully we'll get to Spain soon enough and win our second war against them as well. And look at all those juicy cores I get to reconquer for our Burgundian vassal. Bam, there we go. We have a new vassal, Burgundy. You know, all those cores are really gonna come in helpful. Let's become the defender of the faith as well. Let's core it all up and let's continue on. War against Spain going very nicely. It's going to be quite a bit of an overextension, this one is, but let's just click on ourselves. Well, there we go. Let's click on ourselves and let's release Aragon. And they even took the Balearic Islands. Very interesting. But now the overextension is much more manageable. We can reconquer some cores for Aragon, not a lot, but it's definitely going to come in useful. And let's get strong duchies as well. Finally went to war against the Ottomans, and it's absolutely brutal. I really had to rely on Russia being a big distraction this time, but it's not a lot of fun, that's for sure. Thank heavens, thank the gods, I have the rebalanced Christianity mod for some extra bonuses when it comes to our military icons or powers or whatever you want to call it. But there we go, absolutely stomping the Ottomans. Let's just quickly get aggressive expansion impact, just so nobody coalitions us further, but there haven't been a lot of coalitions as of late. And because there is a partial bonus that gives us extra war score against other religions, we can take even more. And there we go, the Ottomans have been rightfully humiliated. You know, I'm over here sieging Austria-Hungary. Yes, there's Austria-Hungary in this game. I'm sieging Austria-Hungary down, and I noticed that all of their armies are over there and having fun in Russia, and nobody's here to face me. Yeah, we're not going up against Britain this game. This is absolutely insane. Portugal is insane as well, but Britain, man, we are not going up against the British. This is a little too much. Yeah, they're our ally for now. They're number 2 great power. That's too much. Alright, Austria-Hungary is now just Hungary, basically, and we unlocked the mission Humiliate Austria, which should give us, yes, it gives us a dismantle DHRE casus belli, so that's, well, there can only be one Roman Empire after all. The Ottomans really aren't having the best of times. Look at all these rebels. The entirety of Greece is basically occupied. They're well and truly in their collapse era. And here we go, time to finally take care of the HRE so the AE doesn't eat us alive when we finally munch into the German miners. And look, now the Ottoman rebellions are even spilling out into my own provinces. What the hell, man? But the Ottomans really aren't taking care of those rebellions. Greece now broke free, so hey, that's something. You don't see that in every game. But while all of that was going on, we waged a very difficult war against the HRE, and we can now finally dismantle the HRE. Bam, there we go. There can be only one Roman Empire. We have now fulfilled the mission, giving us some, well, some power projection, some splendor, pretty cool. But all this means is that, well, because we aren't really going to go up against the British, we will have to munch into the German miners, so really taking care of the HRE was a pretty big deal for us. Look, there's even the United States. Can you see it? No? It's right there. Right there. The United States, what a behemoth. But after all has been said and done, the final war against Bavaria is done. Bam, there we go. Whew, this munching into the HRE miners was quite a pain. Maybe I should have gone just for Britain, but let's take a look at Italy. Bam! There we go. Roman Empire finally completed as Milan. Now, if I were to there we go. Roman Republic even. Roman Republic. Very cool. You don't see that too often. But, yeah, formed as a Protestant military dictatorship. There we go. All Protestant. A Protestant military dictatorship. Milan into Italy, into the Roman Empire. Well, if I had to compare this against the English run, this one was much tougher. We completed it in roughly about the same amount of time, but the English one was just immeasurably easier because we already start off as a great power as England, and then once we form the Angevin Empire or Angevin Kingdom, basically once we PU France, we are the number 1 great power, completely unassailable, whereas with Milan we had to struggle to get there, and we were even for a while in quite a bit of diplomatic wilderness where I just couldn't get any strong allies, on and off allied with France, then munching into France, nobody to really ally with, couldn't really go up against anyone that big for a while there, and yeah, I got really lucky this game. So anyway, thanks Kings for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.